All right, so the last time we read from the weightlifting federation, a story, and the president was saying that there was an election which you were involved to try and halt it. There've been issues scattered across. What is your side of the story?
Well, thank you very much. Let me say, I was a bit surprised when I saw it because I've not had anything to do with sports for some time now. Yes, I was a sports minister. I've been a president of weightlifting before. And I absolutely have no interest in weightlifting. As today, my interest in sports is only to be a fan of sports for now, and not really as anyone with interest about who is a president of a federation or who is a president of the Ghana Olympic Committee or Ghana Athletics Federation. I'm no more interested in those things. I think I've been given a responsibility by the president, and I must focus on that and discharge that responsibility. So why would I be interested in what happens with weightlifting? I was surprised when I saw it myself, but I dismissed it because I thought it was unnecessary. There was no evidence. There was nothing that I have done. There was nothing that can be pointed to show my interest in whatever elections they were having. So I just dismissed it.
I'm forced to ask you this, forgive me, but our Black Stars, and I know you smile, our Black Stars, it seems we are back on track. Are you all the same belief, just like Ghanaians feel their cross posting the last time against Chad? Are we back on track?
Well, with me, I don't just look at football matches in terms of the results. My darling club, Manchester United, played a very good game last 3 days today against Nottingham Forest, but we lost. You understand? Yesterday, I watched Everton play a very good game against Liverpool. They lost. They hit the post. They scored a goal which was disallowed. So they had chances, but Liverpool won. So sometimes you must appreciate the quality of the game that was played. You must look whether the team has moved from level A to level B, from class 1 to class 2, and not just about the result. And I think the 2 matches we have played so far doesn't give me any indication to the fact that there has been an improvement in the team, even though we've won those matches by wide score lines, even though we won those matches comfortably. I'm looking at the quality of play. Sometimes some coaches will say the result is what matters, especially in qualifying series like this. You say the result is what matters, but at the end of it all, you should also know that it's not just about qualifying, but it's about developing, improving your performance, your play, so that when you have qualified, people will have confidence in the team that this is not just a team that is also going to add up to the numbers at the competition, at the tournament, but this is a team that will give other countries a run for their money. You understand? So I am concerned about our performance as a team more than sometimes the result we get. And I will want us to build a team that will show resilience, that will show improvement, a team that will strike some fear in any country, any nation at all. That when you hear that you want to play Ghana, you get a bit scared. It doesn't matter whether you are Argentina or you are Brazil. There was a time when, due to the performance of Nigeria in terms of quality of play, almost every country was scared of Nigeria. Recently, Senegal, they were not just winning matches, but if you look at their play, you get scared. You understand? And when they are playing, their confidence level is so high, it doesn't really matter whether they were playing France or playing England or playing Italy. That is what I want to look at. I want to see a Ghanaian national team that will strike fear, that will strike awe, that will put every team on alert that I'm playing Ghana. But not just a team that is assembled that possibly will go and achieve a result, win a match, and we start clapping. I am a technical person, and I look at other things in the match. The 2 matches we played, let me be frank with you. If there was one department of our team that I didn't like, it was our defense. Our defense were, the 2 matches, or our defense were very poor. I'm being frank with you. It's just that the 2 teams we played, to me, their standards were also very poor. That's why. And I think we must do something about our defense, because there are much more tougher matches coming up. We must do something about our defense. Are these the only defenders we can assemble across the world? And I've been asking our technical people to spend time and sit down and look at the championship. Look at the EFL, not the Premier League. Look at the other leagues. And don't look at just their elite league. Look at the next level. So look at Serie B. You understand? And look at Ghanaian players in those teams. And look, I see wonderful footballers in the English Football League. I see wonderful Ghanaian players in the championship. And I said, I ask myself, why are these boys not being invited? Why are they not being invited? There must be a justify your inclusion to the national team. The national team doesn't belong to one player and 2 players alone. There must be a justify your inclusion. At every point in time, every position in the national team must be so competitive that no one person can take it as his position. That he know anytime he comes, the jersey is there for him. The players that played our last match are not the best players in the world. They are not the best Ghanaian footballers in the world. And I've also made indications. Look, today, last time I heard Callum Osei-Odoi still dreaming about playing for England. What have we been doing all this time? When for so many years he didn't get the opportunity to play for England. Why didn't you bring him down? Because now the FIFA rules are so relaxed that it doesn't matter whether you play for one nation. After years, if you can switch, provided you have allegiance, some level of allegiance to this country. What is happening to Edin Ketia? Why are we not bringing him? We sat down, we have allowed Danso. Danso is playing for Austria. So, we have so many wonderful Ghanaian players out there. If we expand our scope and we are interested in building a national team, people will not be fixated with the same team all the time, because they have individual interest, because they have interest in those players. So they created an environment, the situation, as if those players are the only national team, only Ghanaians playing football elsewhere. They are the best. These players are not the best Ghanaians across the world.
These guys who are not the best are supposed to be playing at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, the facility, anytime we attempt an AFCON qualifier, World Cup qualifier, we have to close the facility down for a facelift. Now, the sports budget, we see it, and the allocation for the National Sports Authority quite questionable, because the amount itself is being argued that it's not enough. Are we going to see our stadiums, or if you want, our stadia in the country, have that standard that we don't have to go back and forth again? And do you think that the new National Sports Authority director has that power to lift the image of our facilities?
Let me say this: I have 100% trust in the Minister for Youth and Sports and Recreation, Minister for Sports and Recreation, and I have 120% trust in the new Director for National Sports Authority. And all of us are working together to make sure that the mistake of the past are not repeated. You heard him I think this week or last week, coming out to say the stadium will close down for immediately for renovation. I've heard a crowd of folk wanting to go and play their league match at Tuba, so other, I've said it several times that our maintenance culture could be bad, but not with our sports stadia. Today, I feel so sad when I go to the Bukom Boxing Arena. because this was a facility that touches me. It's a legacy of the John Mahama administration when I was Minister for Youth and Sports. You understand? And after 8 years, it's almost deteriorating. You understand? The pool has been destroyed. The swimming pool has been destroyed. I'm sure if you take your cameras right now to Botema, you will not come back happy. The same with the University of Ghana. I think that the amount of investment that is put into building a sports facility should demand a patriotic sense of responsibility towards the maintenance and the management of those facilities. Anybody who intentionally, willfully close his eyes and allow any of our sports facility to deteriorate is a nation wrecker. I'm being frank with you. That's the only qualification I can give that person. It's a nation wrecker. Because, one, you are not only endangering the lives of thousands of Ghanaians. Because when the facility ran down, what you are doing is that it's affecting its integrity, and it may lead to an unwanted situation one day. So what are you doing? You are endangering our lives, you are putting our life at risk, and anything at all can happen. So you are a nation wrecker. So I know Yao will not want to be called a nation wrecker. So he will be very, very up to speed with his responsibilities. I've had a discussion with the Minister for Sports and Recreation on the government's own pledge that even if we cannot build a new facility, we'll make sure the existing ones are maintained and maintained well. We did an analysis of so-called renovation that has been done at Accra Sports Stadium. It's a sham. It's a waste of money. And I've asked the minister, I've asked him to cause a forensic audit and investigation of the renovation of the Accra Sports Stadium. Because you can't call this renovation and an amount of money that has been sunk into it. So those things must be checked. And after that, then we can come to a conclusion. Look, do we still want to have the stadium managed the way it's been managed in the past? Or we want to look at how we can get facility managers, qualified, experienced, professional facility managers to manage these facilities. I had the opportunity of having worked in Old Trafford when I was doing some janitor work in UK. Look, Old Trafford is managed by a facility managers, and they don't just joke with it. They take their job very serious, and they make sure that every day, if you come to Old Trafford, you will not have anything to talk about, because it is not just a football field, it is not just a place for Manchester United, it is also a tourist center for people who travel far and wide from Asia and other places to come and daily pay money to visit. You understand? So it is not, our stadia should be seen not just as a place where we gather to watch a football match. You understand? There are people who have come to Ghana, journalists, researchers who have come to Ghana to do documentaries on Ghana sports, on Ghana sports. They want to see where the Abedi Peles, the Tony Yeboes, and all this, where they came from, the Mohamed Polos, where they came from, where they were playing football, and so we should maintain them in such a way and manner that when people come to do those research works and do documentaries, they will be pleased with what they see, not seeing it as just where we gather once in a time and just have fun, leisure, watch football match, and then we go sleep. I ask some of them all the time, is that how they keep their bedrooms? Is that how they keep their living rooms? Is that how they keep their houses? If it were your house, will you just allow the toilet to be that bad that people cannot enter the place and people have to pee around the walls? Will you be happy if people are peeing around your wall, in your community, in your house, in your residence? No. Why will you allow that to happen in the stadium? That if your house, you get up and you not clean the chairs, you allow people to come and sit in the dirt just like that when they come to your house. So that sense of responsibility must be generated in the people who are managing our facilities, and it is important. So the Accra Sports Stadium, the Kumasi Sports Stadium, or Babayara as we call it, Tamale Aliu Mahama, Isipon, and all other stadia, we need to have a different sense of management to be able to, look, over the weekend, I went to Citi FM's back to village, and after that I had a discussion with some Samens, and I said, look, Samens, it looks like this place is becoming too small for this program. Are we looking at? And they said, we want to go to Independence. So I said, no, Independence is, it will kill the vibe around the whole thing. Why don't we look at AC Sutherland Children's Park? I said, wow, that's a good idea. So when I left the place, I said, let me drive through the place where I have recommended to see. I nearly cried. It's a disaster. It will take more for Citi to go put that place in shape if they should decide to use there tomorrow. You understand? But that's supposed to be our children's park, where our children are supposed to go there and have fun and have leisure. How? Today, individuals are doing parks, water parks, and the rest. I've seen some in Bawuleshi, I've seen some around Kasua, and wonderful investment. The national one is there because it is a national facility. So we are allowing it because the people who have been given the responsibility to manage it, whether they do it well or not, at the end of the month they will be paid.